decisiveness. Like I'm the decider. Like when George W. Bush is on the aircraft going, I'm the decider.
Remember when we thought that George W. Bush
was the worst president ever?
Ha!
Okay.
Right.
Welcome to episode 2, bonus episode 2.
Bonus episode 2 with
Nirit and Amir from Pic-Time.
Nirit
Yes.
and Amir.
There are some people you were stalking for a while.
I was stalking them. So, yes, I was stalking them. I was recommended by a client to get in touch with them, and then we had a Skype session with them, and I fell in love with Nirit.
Yeah. In fact, they are pretty cool.
I have a major girl crush on her, and we keep going, we're going to go shopping once sometime really, really soon, aren't we? And that's been like 2 years of us talking about we're going to go shopping. We haven't done it because they live all the way over on the other side of the universe.
Yes.
And
they're in Tel Aviv or out of Tel Aviv. So
yeah, and we're like at the opposite end of the
similar
spectrum.
climate though, funnily enough.
Similar climate.
And they're by the beach.
Both really tricky to get to. And, you know, here we are not now we're all stuck in our bloody houses wearing our tracksuit pants and eating too much. But of course,
except if you look at their Instagram feed,
right.
you'll realise there's nothing that they do that is not stylish and gorgeous.
Obscenely stylish and beautiful. And I remember the first time we had a can I tell this story?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, well, the first time we had it was a
Skype
programmer.
or a Zoom.
Yeah, it was a Skype with the programmers.
Yeah.
And like I've worked in web development for 20 years, and so I'm used to programmers. I was like, whatever, let's just get this programming shit out of the way. And there's this gorgeous man with his guitars and everything behind him, and he's got some muscles, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even put any face on. My hair's a mess because I was just, expecting programmer man. But they're Israeli programmers, so they're like, we're in the army 30 seconds ago throwing trucks over their heads or whatever the fuck they do. No, we're not getting into the politics of this.
No, they're super cool people. Great products.
Yeah.
The design aesthetic is lovely. One of the things about choosing galleries, whether it be, any of these people we're talking with, you got to find something that suits your aesthetic.
Yeah, and their stuff is beautiful and really thoughtful, and the stuff they were talking about these new sort of ways of integrating that they've got coming up. It sounds really exciting. And I want to I think I should do a walkthrough video with Nirit. Me and her telling me how to do it because I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
And she can walk me through and then we can talk about shopping.
So in our feeling that every one of these partners we work with has something which you'll feel like you connect with. And that's what you should be doing when you're choosing.
Yeah, and I think the thing with Nirit and Amir is that I think part of the reason we got on with them so well initially to start off with was because they're a husband and wife. We're a husband and wife. Yeah. They're running a business with
She's a creative
staff.
He's the technician.
Exactly. She says so in the chat that if he wasn't there, she'd just be slopping around, getting into work at lunchtime. So me. So we both need our husbands to actually get things done. They're completely divine, and I just love them to bits. And one day, when all this virus crap is over and one of us has some money to get to the other side of the world, we're going to do it.
Well, listeners, viewers, enjoy. It was fine. If it's not, Kate will fix it because she's in charge of all of that. She's very good with that. Okay, so I'm here on Skype with Amir and Nirit from Pic-Time, the founders. Nirit, you're a photographer, right?
Right, I am, yes.
And Amir's the programmer. How would you describe Amir?
So we're closing the window, so we'll have more quiet. I think. That's it.
Oh, that's different.
Amir.
Amir is in charge of making the noise.
Yeah. Amir is a developer, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the core I'm a developer, yes.
Yeah, a developer first. And so did you solve Nirit's problem for web galleries? Is that where this all began?
Yes, actually, definitely. Yeah. We had a lot of, I took photos of Abigail back when she was little.
Our daughter. Yeah.
Our daughter. Paul knows her. He sees her on Instagram. Yeah. So she's dancing and she had performance And all the moms came to me and asked, and we're talking like 11 years ago when there was nothing in the market.
15 years ago.
15 already?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
She was 6, yes.
Wow, that's a lot. So I needed
15.
like a solution to transfer all the images to all the other moms because I was doing it each one with an email. So I just wanted Amir to solve this for me. And I also thought that prints will be cool if they could print it. And yada, 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 we're here.
No, it took a good few years until we started, because at that time I couldn't do it. I was in another business. I tried to convince Snapsheet.
Snapshot? Snap snip?
Snapfish.
Snapfish.
Yes.
Interesting.
You can see why the video
I'm
is
red now.
This is why the video is so important. So you can see.
That is right. That is right. That is right. Hey, can you adjust the camera a little bit, Nirit, to center you two, just a little bit? Yes. There we go. Beautiful.
Yeah, no, I'm out of balance for the whole conversation. Yeah, I
Snapfish, right?
Snapfish, yes. Ben was the CEO at that time.
Yeah.
And at that time, I think we got to the understanding that there's a gap there in the market, but he said, we are not interested in this market and we are not going to be interested. And so each one of us continued his own path, Nirit, me, and Snapfish. And
brilliant.
And just a few years later, I think 6 or 7 years later, suddenly we found ourselves sitting and thinking, okay, maybe let's do something together. And we started to work on that. So that was the
beginning.
The beginning, yes.
That was history.
And,
Yeah.
So also when we started to work, we kind of developed the first step, and then we got diverted because there was business opportunity taking the same platform but doing it in a different industry, which was good financially for us. So we changed the strategy for a while, for a few years, and then in 2016 we came back to it. We decided that we also want to go back to the core idea of independent photographers, not large companies, and we started to work on we launched it in April 2016. We launched it for independent photographers.
Well, it's been a stellar rise. I mean, you're such a big presence in the market, and it's such a beautiful aesthetic that you guys run. You've got a very visually beautiful thing. And what I think you're competing for screen attention for people who are looking on their phones or their computers looking for something that's attractive. And you've got a lovely modern aesthetic. And I hear nothing but, love for that side of the business. And I think it attracts buyers. And, it works, doesn't it? It's an appealing store and it's an appealing system.
Yeah.
Thank you. First of all, it's very good to hear that. But so so I'll go back and expand a little bit on the launch for independent photographers, because basically we had this platform running, as I said, for organizations that manage photos and so on. And we said, okay, let's go for the independent photographers. And Nirit said, no, so we need to change the interface. This won't work. So we made a big design. We worked on it for, I don't know, half a year or something like that. And we were ready, and Nirit looked at it and said, no, it's not good.
She wasn't happy.
No, she said, it's not good, it doesn't work. And we had fights, because I said, we can't throw away, like it was, I don't know, 6-7 months of work.
It was like the interface was very weird with circles and stuff like that.
There was a concept of circles and so on. I liked it, but we became very loud about it, let's say. Anyway, we always do at the end, as the chief in command says.
Yes.
And
that, Paul, right?
Yeah. And we had to redesign, so we did another redesign. And
it took a long time.
This one took even longer. Yes, this one took around 8 to 9 months. So we we redeveloped the whole interface again, and then they were happy with it, and we launched. And I have to say, I was sitting with photographers when we launched it. I was also it was still emotional for me. So I was sitting when I demoed. I always showed also the old interface and said, "What do you think?"
I know, because it's yours.
Yeah, and people like more than you. So okay.
Well, if you do not go into the Wayback Machine and look at the website our website when I was in charge. It is terrible. You know, we're talking about 2003 or something. It was terrible, and there is such a disconnect. And I think you have to identify yourself as someone who understands aesthetics or someone who doesn't understand aesthetics, and then you have to give yourself over to the person who understands aesthetics. You know, and a lot of people don't understand why, because design is invisible, but it is such a driver in our lives, you know, beauty and design and simplicity and that sort of thing. So, yeah, you did the right thing, Amir. Very good decision.
I was forced to do the right thing, yes.
And I think the structure is still there. I mean, the fonts and like, it took time to get there, but once we got there, we feel very, you know, comfortable and not comfortable, like stable with this. It's like a good foundation. Like it's the same in all areas. I think in development, in marketing, in design, you really got to invest in the foundation and building it right, and then everything can come out, you know, over it. So we invested in this in the beginning, and I think we enjoy it now.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. So tell me, where are you based? Where do you live?
So we live in Caesarea. It's in Israel.
Yep.
It's it's not a city. It's a village. It's not a village.
Community.
I don't know. It all sounds very romantic, like village community, but it's just like a place with houses.
But it has you in it, so it's not that bad.
Yeah. And we just moved here back. We lived here a long time ago, and it's close to the sea, so it's really, really nice, and we enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, but beautiful. The company is split. The company is split between multiple geographies. In general, we are very distributed. So, also we work from home, not only in Corona days, but we work from home as a philosophy. We meet, the Israeli team meets in Tel Aviv once a week. So we have an office in Tel Aviv, but very rarely we would use it during the weekdays. There's only one day but this is a must. One day everybody has to come to the office. Beyond that, most people work from home. And we have a very distributed group for mainly support around the globe. In Australia.
Jonathan,
Jonathan,
Kamena, yes, and there's and we have in the States a group. So when we started with Independent Photographers, me and Nirit, we lived in the States. We lived in Berkeley, in California. It's near San Francisco.
So does every employee get a beach as part of the plan of working for Pic-Time? Because you're very close to the sea. So do you, like Jonathan's by the sea, so you know he's in Perth.
No.
I know Shahaf likes to surf.
Yes, right.
Yes. Yeah. He is a very good one, actually. Yes.
Is he?
Yes. Yeah. He's surfing, he's doing music. Like we have special people.
But the thing that we work like that is that there's no really constraints on where people live. So we have people from all over. Yeah. People that could not have worked with us if they had to go to the office every day because it was a too long commute for them. But once a week you can take that. So and people that. So we have an ideology of that about
Amir.
that.
It's Amir's
ideology. It's mine. Yes.
It's good ideology because you get to cover people. Your clients are global. You need that to be able to answer their questions at the time of day that suits the person answering the question.
Yeah, definitely for support, it needs to be like very separate, like spreaded and around the world. Yeah. I think it's it's very. Never mind.
so
It's like Amir's vision. It's great.
Yes.
so tell me, I can tell it is. How's the pandemic been where you are? Have you found your community are safe and clear from it, and your family and friends? Has it affected you personally?
Not personally. I think our life continues the way they are. Also, our work, like employees, basically, everyone are keep working in the same way. I mean, yes, we have kids at home, so it's changes a little bit things, but it didn't affect, like, because of the structure of our company that we work from home. So it only took away that one day that we meet. So it's not that bad for us.
Yeah, but I think also we're living in places that are not very dense. So
Yes.
I think the places that got hit more are the dense places and so on. So it's not also, the life cycle beyond the company here is relatively. People are more afraid or more careful. I would say, you have the social distancing and people take masks and so on. So there is a change in life, but it's not.
For sure.
Yeah.
But for us, like daily.
The big problem for us was not our production capabilities, meaning creating software and delivering. The big problem for us was that our clients got hit a lot.
So tell me about the clients and how you're feeling from them, and what news you're getting from them. Obviously, new sessions would just not exist. New bookings, new weddings, that's what have stopped. But there's people with galleries that are selling work still, isn't it? Because I know as a lab, we're still seeing work from your clients. Quite a healthy amount of work.
Yes, actually, this time the conversion rate increased in the last. A few months, yes. If you look on the conversion rate for orders, that it increased. Actually, also increased dramatically, I would say, which is interesting in that sense. Upload-wise, we still see also quite a few. We expected a sharper decline, I have to say. There are still a lot of uploads and downloads in the system. I don't know if the uploads is like people migrating stuff or uploading more material that they didn't have to upload, let's say, history photos that they're doing or something like that. But we see clients that the job is being canceled. That's the reality for the most of the client.
Yeah.
We try to create things that to divert a little or to modify our plans, to do things that would match this time of the year. So, for example, we launched in our apps market platform, the sales automation platform. We added apps that people can sell to their clients backups. So the gallery backup, a client can pay for that, like subscribing for keeping the photos online, and which is very successful. We just launched it 2 weeks ago, and it's going very, very well. And we added gift card, all kind of things that try to help photographers do a little things that are more adjusted to this time of crisis. I don't know, this changing time. And to get through this hole, let's say, I think things will come not too far from now. Things will start to get back. I think that things will start to get not medical professional.
Here we are, 3 health professionals all discussing what's going to happen.
But I think things will start to get back to normal. Maybe it will take, but people will still have events. That maybe even they'll want photography more because not everybody can come. Maybe it will be smaller events. So I don't know. It's too. early and difficult to try to predict how it will affect. It will definitely affect in ways. But we also we were working a lot before on a product that we're going to launch soon.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about what you mean. Have you been influenced by the pandemic and thought, okay, we can build some things for that? Or you've obviously got a schedule to release ideas and updates as it's going. Have you changed what you're offering because of this and been inspired to change things?
So things that we changed are mainly around the subscription thing. So we declared a slowdown situation where we charging. We slow down the billing cycle. So if somebody pays for a monthly subscription, is getting a month and a half.
And a year gets a year and a half.
A year gets a year and a half. So we call it slowdown. So everything is slowing down. We can, of course, we have all kind of fixed costs that we need to run, but we try to adjust to that. And I think, looking into that a few months forward, I think this is something we can sustain. Development-wise, I know we got a name of people that can develop things in minutes, but it's not reality. It's not the real.
Yeah. And test it. Make sure that Nirit's happy with it, you know?
So it is, we have plans and it takes time to develop things, and with the amount of users and things works differently. For example, all the taxes and pricing in Australia is totally different than how it works in the States. So there's a lot of things that need to fall into place. So there are plans, and it's very difficult to change them in a minute, but we're trying to adjust. So like I said, these apps that we released in the market, they were in the pipeline, but they were scheduled in the pipeline a few months forward. So we kind of diverted, and we had the designs, we had the part of the code, we have the ideas, so we pushed it forward because we thought it would make more sense.
Yeah. And there are also things that we paused. So, for example, I think it was in the first or second week we had a price change that was already, the campaign was ready, all the labs that we had to change the prices were ready, and we decided not to go with that because we thought it's not working with the pandemic. It's not the right time to do it. We can't right now. So we postponed a lot of things that we were scheduled to do. Also,
but that we need to give the credit also for the lab. We talked with them and we said and all of them.
Yeah. So we did some things that we're holding. There are things that we're holding. There are things that were we took how do you say
pushed forward.
That we pushed forward. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a kind of a combination, just adjusting to the time. Yeah, there is something that quite big that is coming, which was planned to be coming, and I think that just the volume of all the exclamation mark and boom, wow, yeah, all of this will be geared down. Everything will be more. We'll just announce it and that's it. But something with the tone, I feel we're going down with.
You've got to be very careful with the tone. I was concerned, the opportunity for photographers to set up galleries and send links to previous clients and say, hey, your stuff is back up online or whatever. You got to be really careful that it doesn't look predatory, that it's, and I mean, yet what we do, what you and I do and the photographers do is make such important things for people. They value it more when there's trouble and there's concern, but you can't be out there being predatory. So yes, changing the tone, that would be critical.
Yeah,
I agree. So first of all, it is a very fine line, but on the other hand, I think people understand photographers are not trying to, let's say, optimize their clients. They're also struggling.
Survive.
It's very. So
I think that in the app we positioned it in a way, and we worked on it with Sam Hurd is the person that was we released this app with him. So it was really important to say, like, this is not something you have to do. I'm just like, I'm saying that this is what I can do for now, and you can download everything, and your images will be saved, and you can like do it for yourself, or you can have them online. But having this is an option. It's not like pointing like, I need your money. Now it's like giving an option there. So everything needs to be very, very careful. People in different places experience different things. In Europe, people feel different things. In New York, people experience it differently. It's such a sensitive time, and you just need to be very, very careful with everything.
Yeah. One of our suppliers on the announcement of a pandemic sent us everything's going up 10%. And, just reading the letter, it was like, what country are you from? What world are you from that you think you can? And of course, international freight prices went through the roof, and, it cost them more, and they put the materials up and whatever. But it's just terrible timing. You have to be so sensitive.
Yeah, I agree.
So tell me, before all the pandemic, how was your business performing? Were you up on the year before? Has Pic-Time been growing?
Yeah. Actually, yes, Pic-Time is still in a nice curve of growing. I think that we just help photographer create a healthy business and take advantage of everything they can offer around the images. So the sales automation was definitely the milestone, I think, last year.
Last year, yes.
Yeah.
It was. At the beginning, when we launched in 2016, we had all the time steady growth all the time, and we were very happy about it. And suddenly, in the middle of 2018, it started to go very fast up. We did a campaign. We totally did not expect this type of result. We came in with introductory prices, and then we raised the prices. And before that, we said that we're going to raise the price. Whoever wants to jump in, that's fine. And that pushed a lot. And then ever since then, the curve was very steep and still is. Sales automation gave it another push. I think sales automation, we worked a lot on it. It was a major milestone for us, and it still is. We're feeling we're really at the beginning of it. We're all the time adding things, improving things, and we see the thing that gives us a lot of confidence is the results we see that it makes to photographers, the impact that it makes on the income that we see photographers are making from our system. So this is a very powerful tool that we still have a very long roadmap for it. And for this year, we planned a very something that we think about it for a few years, but we decided we're jumping into it. It was kind of the main event for us for a promotion for this year, and now we kind of, I think, will, like Nirit said, we'll make it software. And when we came out, there was no aspirations to conquer the world or to conquer photography. It's really we're happy with the business the way it is, and we're happy to make a system that will make an impact for this photographer. So I think that we're okay with that as well, taking the tone a little bit down.
Yeah, I know, understand. I mean, the fact is, I think when you take a business and you focus on things that you want to see solved as a customer, not as the owner of the business, because everybody wants growth and stability and success and that. But if you just leave that stuff alone and you focus on the things that solving those little problems for people, it really does work. And if you solve them in a modern way, and you're a modern person, and you speak to your clients and have a close relationship with your clients, and you listen to them, this is when things get fixed. And out of that, I think it's not luck. Growth comes. It's not an accident. It's a very good Yeah. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
definitely.
Yeah, and tell me, I was going to ask you about in-person sales. Do you find your client base mixes up in-person sales with the gallery, or do you have some people that just gallery only? And have you got a feeling for what is the most successful combination, or is it a personality-based thing? Some people don't want to do in-person sales. What's your feeling for that?
So I think I can say everything you said is true. So there are there are people that don't do that, and there are people that really believe in that. There are people that don't like to do it. They don't like to do the sales piece of it. Some people will always sell much more with an in-person sales.
And they're good, like they're okay with the time, like with the slice of time it takes from their business. It's like part of their, it's part of their business structure. It's okay. But some people are like the enemy, and the person who we worked on the app, on the Simple Sell app, which is a combination of kind of taking the techniques for the in-person sell and have it online. So she said, like, I know the technique is good and it's working. I appreciate that, but I just can't get, like, I prefer doing more photos than sitting with this time-consuming, method. So, and it's, everything is okay. It's like going by personality and preferences. But the app that Enemy did with the Simple Sell, which you kind of, in the beginning, you see a slideshow for only 24 hours. I don't know if you know this app, but you see, so you see a slideshow for 24 hours, and from the beginning, it's going to be only 24 hours. It's a whole like system, and you see it for 24 hours, and then you have 3 packages which you can choose from. They all include high-res download and prints, and then there are 3 levels. The last one is to kind of take you to the middle one. And so there are 3 levels, and the client needs to choose one of them and buy the package. And only then he can see the gallery, and all the images are like back in the gallery. And then he purchased the prints and everything, but he already bought it. So I think it's like a very smart system. And it's very easy because you set it up once, and then everything goes automatically. Like all your emails, all the messages, everything is ready. So it's super easy to maintain it, and it works very, very good. We see she has like a group, and we see their reactions there, and people are.
And we see the numbers.
And
so
we see the
basically,
numbers.
not from the technical perspective. The idea there, it was playing exactly to your question. It's a system that helps you take the benefits of an in-person sales, but make it online. So improving the workflow, the online sales work for portrait photographers, to make it much more efficient. And it works. It's really amazing, the results there. And first of all, you can see the reaction of photographer overflowing from joy with the change in income that it makes. And we see it in the numbers. Basically, when we started to work on at that time, we didn't call it sales automation. We called it the marketing version 2. We worked on a platform that has a lot of flexibility. It was already halfway developed, with a specific capability that photographers can assemble all kinds of business strategies. And we approached Enemy. We saw that she's doing good. And we had a conversation with her. She was very surprised that we approached her. But we saw somebody with a very clear business strategy. And after this conversation, we kind of changed the way we looked on the sales automation, and we came up with the ideas that we want to package business strategies of photographers that knows what they're doing. So the idea was to take a business philosophy, package it for the users, enable them to customize it, but it can be ready out of the box. So you can take this strategy, flip a switch, and start working with this strategy on your business. And so this is we redesigned this whole platform into this philosophy. And with the simple sales, I'm a great believer. Now we're adding additional ones. There's the Sam Hurd, and there's additional one. You don't want to say
it's okay.
Ben H's. So so there's all kind of additional business strategies like that. So aside of like the standard business strategies of abandoned cart and so on, that are also very nice, and they were packaged by photographers that made it work. Anniversary, which is also these things are. So the strategy, let's say abandoned cart, is something that exists.
Yeah.
But how the emails are written, how the banners are structured, how the discount is made, so everything is packaged for you with explanation, and you can package it. So this was the sales automation, and the simple sales was the first very large app that we did, which was exactly that, helping photographers move from IPS into online, virtual IPS, into online sales.
Yeah.
And we really believe in that as a strategy forward. This is one of our main challenges, to help photographers do more online, how to make the online world part of their business workflow, of their sales workflow.
And how timely is all of that right now? You know, it's incredible. It's incredible. And the reason why we're doing this is, and we jammed this in, and I gave you no warning, and we did this interview as quickly as possible so that we could just get to people who are sitting there at this time and go, here's a real opportunity for you to participate in an online world. Most photographers have got a wonderful back catalogue. They've got people who they don't actually have to sell much to them, because those people have already bought them in that they've booked them in the past. They know them. Here's an opportunity to reach out and say, hey, I've set up this new thing. I've got this new gallery working. I'm working with this company. Have a look at it. If you want to order, if you've got a backup system now, you know, you've got a abandoned cart system. So there's no reason why a photographer couldn't help themselves through these next few months. And then when they're out of this, they're going to be so much better off for investing their time into this now.
Yes, because because you kind of structure it and build it, and you do your own customization for the voice and the emails, and how you want your banners to look like and everything. And then it's like done, and you're just attaching it to the next galleries that are going to come. So you're kind of building a very good, again, foundation. We started with it, a very good foundation for for your business. And yeah, I think it's really a good opportunity to dive into it, because usually we don't have, as photographers don't have time to dive into, things like this. And this is, by the way, why we packaged everything, because photographers didn't have time. So we packaged, so just install the app and then attach it to your gallery. But also for that, we still have so many photographers who are in our system and not using it. And this is really our mission, to help them, discover the automations that they can use. I was just working today on the Mother's Day app, which is coming. I don't know, you celebrate it in Australia?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so I was just working on this campaign. So it's not just things that are the workflow of a gallery. Sometimes there are Black Friday and Christmas and stuff like this.
Simpler things.
Simpler and obvious kind of sales, but everything is so visual and so beautiful, and it's ready for you to use. So it's our baby. It's a nice baby.
Isn't it hard? Isn't it difficult? You've got beautiful children, and you've now got this other thing, which is your child. And I mean, I feel that way about our business. It is a great thing if you enjoy what you do. And I think the wonderful thing about the photographic industry is our clients mostly feel that way as well. They love what they do. They're not in it. They're clearly not in it to get rich and drive fancy cars. They're in it because they love it. They make something that's very, very important and very special.
Right.
And so we're in this wonderful industry. Imagine we could be plumbers. We could be plumbers, or you could be writing software for a bank, Amir. You know, something miserable like that.
Writing software is very much like being a plumber.
Is that?
You think know you.
Yes.
We just created like such a nice description, and you're just bringing it to the farmers again. Why?
I love this infrastructure. Yes, making things flow and connected.
It's important we have realists in the room as well, isn't it, Nirit? We need, otherwise we would be floating around, getting nothing done. And we have an anchor here making sure it does get done, which is also important.
Yeah, I told someone lately that Amir is like the powerhouse of this like company, because if it was only me, like I would take more days off. I would do like, okay, we can release it a bit later. There's no rush. You can, everything was slow down. But no, Amir is like really is a pusher. So that's good. Yes.
That's so important. Well, look, I'll let you be and go back to your family and
work. Let's be honest, to the work.
No. Go and enjoy the outdoors. Go and open that window again.
Not today.
Yeah,
sounds beautiful.
How is your, like, can I ask a question before we?
Yeah, of course.
Like, so how are your days looking now? Like you and Kate and the kids, like how does it look like? I think you said that you're all working together.
No,
well, we're not at the moment. We're not at the moment. So we have a 17-year-old Elizabeth and a 17 tomorrow or the next day, Thursday. We have a 15-year-old Josephine. Elizabeth has got a boyfriend in somewhere in the other part of the world. She's never seen him other than, like we're Skyping here. And they just talk and talk and talk and talk. So she's happy. She can lock her room door and talk. Josephine, who's our artist in the family, she begged me last night to take me out to get chicken and chips because she's not left her room in a week and she's dying. So I took her out to just like a 2-minute drive around the corner. And so they're actually enjoying it. They've been at school, homeschooling for the last month. And they're going to do it for the next term as well. They're both, and because of the size of our building, all our staff are here now. And we just today qualified for some government assistance that will help with our payroll for 3 months.
That's
it's incredible. It's a gift. We're in a wonderful place here in Australia that we can get this kind of support. So I think it's equivalent of 75% of an Australian working wage, the average wage. We get paid so we can keep all our staff on. So we've got about 14, 15 staff. And we are down maybe 50% now. And it's the big products, the big frames and all that. So that part of the building are suffering, and their wages they're coming in less, dropping a day a week. But now we can bring them back in, and maybe not full time, but we can afford that. And so Kate and I haven't had to get on the tools and do a lot of hard work yet. But if what we're afraid of course, we all reopen too early, everybody gets comfortable, and then we actually get properly locked down. And because we live in the same building as the business, we can still work and produce. And so there's a small amount of production we could maintain. And our intention is to, as long as we can get it to the freight services, is to continue delivering. And we've put our energy into things like the podcast here, where we get to, try and reach out and work with the community and help photographers, through a particularly sticky time. And introduce them to people like yourselves. I'm so glad that you took the time to spend this, so that our customers can understand, what a lovely couple you are and who's behind this clever little business. I find it just the best thing to get to know who your connections and suppliers are. I wouldn't be in a business that I didn't want to know these people. I certainly wouldn't work with anybody that I didn't want to know with. So it's a real joy working with you guys.
Thank you so much. Yes. Really, thank you so much. We fell in love with you guys from the moment we met you. Remember that? And we had like a great chemistry from the beginning, and it also grew to a lovely partnership. I mean, technically, not just like just loving you. It also, it's like in a real life. So thank you for the opportunity to connect with your people, and have a good day, and give my love to Kate.
Yeah. I'm sorry she can't be on the call. She said if she did this though, it would all be all about her. And you know, I think she's the Donald Trump of our industry, but you know, she's the socialist Donald Trump. She's more of a socialist than but she would take command of every. Oh God, she's going to hit me now.
That was such a good one. Oh my gosh. You see, she brings so much joy even if she's not here. Just like putting her name and her energy just fills us all with like laughing. So
thank you. Well,
anyway, thank you.
Thank you so much, and stay safe. And I look forward to talking to you again in the near future and seeing what you guys have got to release going forward. It's always exciting.
2 weeks or 3 weeks, we'll let you know.
Out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, he's doing it again. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. See you.
Thanks.